Just quit, suffer now, and live the rest of your life as a champion. This is a quote from Muhammad Ali, and this is how I choose to welcome you to the Sports Chat on Star 103.5 FM. My name is Jones ADZI, and this morning we have a lot for you, obviously, because we have news coming in from the Black Stars. Yes. Coach Otuado is expected to name his squad, and then we'll also bring you news from the Accra Sports Stadium because CAF has finally picked the Accra Sports Stadium as a venue for our AFCON qualifier against Sudan, and then we'll also be looking at tennis because yesterday, once again, Yannick Sinner and then Carlos Alcaraz met, and interestingly, Carlos Alcaraz came out winner yet again. And then we'll also be looking at Ghana Premier League because yesterday there were some outstanding fixtures from the Ghana Premier League. So it's packed this morning. And don't forget that the Champions League happened yesterday. Match day 2 ended. Interesting results. Bayern came to England. Harry Kane returned to England, and then it was a surprise for him, bringing you all the results from the Champions League. And then this evening there is the Europa as well. So don't leave. Of course, you can join us on Facebook, Star 103.5. All right, so much joy in our hearts. Yes, the Accra Sports Stadium. Finally. So much joy for the Ministry of Youth and Sports, for the government of Ghana. Trust me, for the Black Stars, for fans, for everyone. Even people who live in Accra here would want to watch the Black Stars of Ghana. This is joy. This is good news for us. And it means that Ghana would not be going outside to play the qualifier against Sudan. Finally, CAF has made a decision. So the Accra Sports Stadium has been approved by the Confederation of African Football to host Ghana's 2025 African Cup of Nations qualifier against the Falcons of Sudan on Friday, October 11. Now, this is per statement from CAF cited via the GFA's website. The statement read, following a comprehensive review of the reports of the CAF independent inspection regarding the Cape Coast and then Accra Sports Stadium, we are pleased to inform you that the Accra Sports Stadium has been approved to host the AFCON qualifiers for Morocco 2025. Specifically, to host the Group F Match Day 3 encounter between Ghana and Sudan, which is scheduled for October 11, 2024. In light of this approval, we kindly request that the Ghana Football Association and the stadium management team prioritize the necessary enhancements to the pitch and other critical areas of the stadium leading up to the match day to ensure an optimal experience for both teams and the attending fans. Now, it continues to read that please note that CAF will continue to closely monitor the readiness of the stadium for this match as well as for future CAF sanctioned events. This decision comes after concerns arose about Ghana potentially needing to play the match abroad due to the unfitness of the Baba Yara Stadium in Kumasi. So following thorough operations by the NSA, the Accra Sports Stadium received CAF approval after inspections. This news has been welcomed by players and fans, including figures like former captain of the Black Stars, Stephen Appiah, and others who actually, criticized the move that Ghana would have to move outside our homeland for the first time. And thankfully, it is not going to happen. So the match is very crucial for the Black Stars, who currently have 1 point from their first 2 games, placing them third in their group. The standings show Angola leading with 6 points, followed by Sudan with 3 points, while Ghana and Niger each have 1 point. Ghana will also play Sudan again shortly after the Accra match at the February Stadium in Libya, as Sudan is unable to host matches due to political instability. So don't forget that the second leg of that game will not happen in Sudan, would happen in Libya instead, because Sudan are not too settled at the moment, and the Accra Sports Stadium don't forget, last hosted an AFCON qualifier in 2021 and was a friendly match against Liberia. Had a friendly match against Liberia in 2023. So the last time we played an official game there was in 2021. Now, meanwhile, coach of the Black Stars, Otuado, is expected to announce his squad for the AFCON qualifiers in probably the next 48 hours. So we understand that players like Alexander Jiku and then Enes Nyama are expected to be called back into the team after their return from injury. Ghana would play Kwesi Appiah Sudan in Accra, as I brought you earlier on Friday, 11th of October, before traveling to Libya to face the same side on Monday. Monday the 14th. Now let's move to the Ghana Premier League. Good news. So Accra Sports Stadium confirmed. Yes. The Accra Sports Stadium has been confirmed and we'll play here in Accra. Let's see how it goes for Ghana in Accra. Yesterday in the Ghana Premier League, 2 outstanding games were cleared after Samatex and Instructor Mines exit from the CAF Champions League and Confederations Cup, respectively. Samatex played a 1-1 draw at home to Bibiani Gold Stars. Emmanuel Mama's 22nd minute goal for Samatex was cancelled out by a 75th minute Kelvin Opong goal. The draw means champion Samatex will move to the 6th position with 5 points, while Gold Stars move to the 3rd position with 8 points, with a point difference behind league leaders Midiama Sporting Club. And Kumasi Asante Kotoko, who hosted Instructorman FC at the Linkley Sports Stadium in Obuasi, got their first win at home this season as they beat the FA Cup champions by a goal to nothing via a 47-minute Elvis Balfour goal. The win takes the Porcupine Warriors second within a point of league leaders Midiama Sporting Club. And coach Prosper Nateogum of Kotoko was a happy man after the game and believes the team is a different one from last season's team.
As you said, it was a very physical game. Both sides trying to take control of the middle of the park and then create chances. I think we were able to put some pressure on them, and out of that, we got our goal. This is a different team altogether. This is a new season. So, I mean, the boys are doing well. We need to encourage them, and then we need to make sure that we keep the intensity, we keep the determination, and then we keep our sense of focus. So I would say the boys are doing well. No, those who are injured are still out. They are not yet ready to join the team.
So Kumasi Asante Kotoko, they're yet to lose a game this season, yes, and they lie second. Forgive me, Kotoko fans. They lie second, points behind Midiama. Don't forget that Midiama have one game, one outstanding game to play as well. They've just played 3. Midiama, they've won all their games, 100% record. And congratulations to Kotoko. And it was a 1-1 draw between Samatex and then Bibiani Gold Stars. Okay, now, before we move to some non-football stuff and bring you news from athletics, because yesterday we had an exclusive interview with the Chief Executive Officer of Ghana Athletics. She led the team at the Olympics held in France, Paris, some months ago. And we asked her, what have we learned? What are the lessons that we've learned? Well, she's been speaking to us and then bring you that voice there. But before that, yesterday, Aliou Cisse parted ways with the Senegalese FA and would no longer head the national team after the Senegalese FA decided not to extend his contract. So now, some reasons, yes, why did Aliou Cisse not extend his contract, or why did the FA decide that, see, Aliou, it's over, go your way, let's go away. So, interestingly, the first reason was that he failed to win the 2023 AFCON. And then also he failed to qualify for the 2022 World Cup quarterfinals. And also another reason was that there was regression on FIFA World Cup ranking. So instead of moving forward, they felt that Senegal at the time, the team that they have, and where they've gotten to, they should be moving up in the world rankings, in FIFA's rankings. Instead, they were dropping, and it was part of the reasons why Aliou Cisse had to leave. And then another one was that there was a risk of disaffection, yes, between the national team and football lovers in Senegal. So it got to a point, football lovers will always talk. Yes, you can never please football lovers. So it got to a point they felt that we're talking too much. And then, so Cisse isn't sacked, don't forget, but his contract ended, and the Ministry of Youth and Sports and Culture, their minister, Miss Kadi Dianyegaye, decided not to renew the contract anymore. So it means that the 48-year-old will leave the team. Don't forget that he had stayed with the team for 9 years. Yes, and he led them to their AFCON title in 2021. Goodbye, Cisse and the Teranga Lions. All right, now let's bring you news from tennis, because Chief Executive Officer of Ghana Athletics, Madam Filipina Frimpong, who led Ghana's team at the 2024 Paris Olympic Games, has called for intentionality in preparation of track and field athletes for competitions. Madam Frimpong, in an exclusive interview with GH1 TV, was reflecting on the lessons learned from the Olympic Games.
What we learned is preparation, constant preparation, adequate competitions is what an athlete needs. A lot of the times, one of these athletes that we compete with, they are running from, I'm sure you follow the Diamond League. If you follow the Diamond League, you realize that from one place to the other, from one place to the other, from one place to the other. It is intentional. It is intentional. And we are not intentional with our preparations, if I'm being honest. A lot of these athletes get the exposure they get because of the schools they attend and the fact that they are based outside the country. The athletes who are running in Ghana, they do their best. They do their best considering the conditions that they run in. They do their best.
Okay, the CEO also put across that the Ghana Athletics Association can only provide opportunities for the athletes since they are responsible for putting together a national team.
After an athlete finishes training, they need to have something good to eat to build up the muscles. They need to have supplements that will help them to recover faster. They need to have adequate rest to help them to recuperate and be ready to come for the next day's training. Do we have those things? A lot of the time, people want to try and make that a GA problem. We are a national body who is supposed to put together a national team. Nobody goes to the GFA to go and ask the GFA why the Premier League players are not playing well. It's not the GFA's problem to ensure that the Premier League players are playing well. So why should it be our problem to ensure that athletes, we can advise, we can provide opportunities for them. And the opportunities we provide for them is when we organize competitions. We organize we organize circuits. We take it from Accra, Cape Coast. We've even gone as far as Wa to go and run on Cinder, because we want to give athletes in Wa the opportunity to also show what they have. So we give them these opportunities. We select them. Now we need to take them for training camps. Who funds these training camps? And training camps shouldn't necessarily be in Ghana, because you want them to be able to compete with the next person. You don't want an athlete to go and enter the tracks and the next person standing next to him is Noah Lyles or Fred Kelly, and they have not run with him before.
Right, so there you have it. Madam Filipina Frimpong, Chief Executive Officer of Ghana Athletics. Hopefully, we'll be intentional about our preparations and would get to LA. Yes, don't forget the next Olympics is in Los Angeles, and we are hoping that we'll have a better team. We'll be intentional about preparations. We'll start very early, just like some countries have started now preparing for LA. Will not be like the usual Ghanaians and do better there. Okay, now let's move to tennis before we move to the Champions League, because yesterday Carlos Alcaraz came from a set down to edge out world number one Yannick Sinner in a dramatic China Open final. The 21-year-old Alcaraz continued his fine form, ran against the Italian, and has now won each of the last three encounters after coming through 6-7, 6-8, 6-4, 7-6, 7-3 against the Italian. It is the Spaniard's 4th ATP Tour title this year and 16th of his career. Carlos Alcaraz believes the competition between himself and Jannik Sinner is good for the game of tennis.
I'm start saying that when Jannik and I face each other, play against each other, I think it's a really good thing for tennis, you know, because we always saw a really intense match, really close match, great points, great rallies. I think for the people who don't watch tennis, probably thanks to this kind of matches, start to watch tennis or even practice it. So I think it is pretty good. I try to enjoy as much as I can, you know, playing against him. But it's not easy. And I'm really happy. I mean, when you're able to be one of the best, if not the best tennis player in the world, obviously it seems like you're doing the great things, you're doing the right work, and you know, I'm proud about myself with everything I've done the last month.
Jannik Sinner obviously was disappointed after losing to Alcaraz.
It's always nice to be part of this kind of matches. You know, obviously disappointed that it didn't go my way, but you know, this kind of matches can really go both ways. Today was not my day. He played better in important moments, and you know, that's it. But I'm proud again of a great week. You know, making finals here. Last year I won here, so it's for sure a place where I love to play, and yeah, so I'm already looking forward for next year.
All right, looking forward for next year is Jannik Sinner. All right, let's do this. John Durant's glorious late goal and Aston Villa famous 1-0 win over Bayern Munich as Champions League football came to the Villa Park. The informed striker came off the bench and swiftly spotted Manuel Neuer off his line, lighting up the Villa Park on a special European night. Marked a repeat of the 1982 European Cup final, famously won by the West Midlands club. Unai Emery's side held firmly throughout as the German Giants were kept at bay, although it required a dramatic save from Emilio Martinez from Harry Kane in the final moment. The victory maintains Villa's perfect start to the Champions League season. Speaking after the game, Aston Villa manager Unai Emery says he's proud of the victory over Bayern Munich.
Yes, of course. I told him the best moment we can pass is days like today, and try to enjoy the way, because when you are getting at the end, I don't know where, but everything we are doing in the way, every day, every matches, try to enjoy it, enjoy the way. And today winning, of course, how we played and against who team we played. And of course, in Champions League after 42 years ago, the final, remembering it, of course, was a special day. But like I told you before the match, we want to keep it for a long time, something like being consistent to play in Europe, hopefully, and against the best team like today.
Vincent Kompany, former coach of Burnley, who now is the head coach of Bayern Munich, acknowledged that Aston Villa are capable of beating every team.
I think the analysis for me is pretty simple. I thought the first 15 minutes we started well. Bribe, some runs in behind, 1v1s, and then it looked like this was going to be a good night for us. And then just for half an hour, first half, we just dropped the level a little bit. You know, tempo on the ball was slower. We didn't make as many runs. And then it wasn't that we conceded big chances, but you could feel like Villa was... They were smelling a bit of blood, which we then took out completely in the second half. So in that sense, we did much better in the second half. And then we missed some big chances and they scored the chance.
Liverpool made it 2 wins from 2 in the new Champions League format as goals in either half from Alexis McAllister, and then Mohamed Salah secured a routine 2-0 win over Bologna at Anfield. McAllister converted Salah's cross from close range after 11 minutes to put the hosts ahead. And Real Madrid fell to their first Champions League defeat since May 2023 as Lille has upsetted them in France. It was a loss for Carlo Ancelotti's side in 36 matches in all competitions dating back to 18th January against Atletico Madrid in the Copa del Rey. Jonathan David scored the only goal from the penalty spot for Lille after VAR review ruled that Real's French midfielder Eduardo Camavinga had blocked Zegrova's free kick with his arm. Then now, today in the Europa League, would see Rangers take on Lyon. Manchester United would come up against Porto, and then AZ Alkmaar would play Atletico Bilbao. Tottenham would play Ferencváros, and then Hoffenheim come up against Dynamo Kiev. All right, that'll be all for sports. My name is Jones, ADZI. Don't forget to join us on the game at 1 p.m. The morning show continues.